Hey everybody, this is Brad from Johnson Small Engines, better known as the one-hand mechanic. If I can do it, you can too. Today we are working on a Cub Cadet LT46 XT1 Enduro series with a 46-inch mower deck. And today I'm going to show you how to take the mower deck off and also reinstall it. The first thing you want to do, if you can do this on asphalt or concrete, would be great. Put the emergency brake in, lock the emergency brake on, then you're going to go ahead and put your mower deck all the way down as far as it can go. And just remember while we're over here, this is a spring-loaded mower deck handle, and there's a spring in there that helps lift and lower the mower deck. So when we do take the mower deck off, when you do bring this handle back up, remember it's spring-loaded, and you just have to put a little bit of pressure on it. Take off the mower deck belt in the front of the machine, and that would be by removing this right here is the guide. Now, we don't necessarily have to remove this guide, but I know a lot of people say, oh, you don't have to do that. You can just kind of pinch it and go between there. Well, guess what? That's really hard to do. And so what I'm going to do is go over to the other side. And as you can see on this side, I already used a silver marker. And since there's so many holes in here, if you do have to, if this does, we're going to pop this out of this side. Okay, there's nothing holding it on. On the other side, you're going to see in a minute that we can just push this out, slide this down the frame a little bit so we can get this out a little bit easier. And it's important that this is in the same spot, the same hole, so a silver marker works great. Let's go around to the other side. Okay, so it's an 8mm socket that takes off this bolt right here, and we're not gonna take it all the way off. We're just gonna loosen it up just enough that I can get my hand on the other side and remove it. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and push the arm out of the hole and then slide it down like that. All right, and then the belt will just fall right out. So we just have to remember when we put it back on that we're going to be taking this this arm and sliding it back into this hole right here that I have on this side. It's a little hard to get it into the hole, but it's a lot easier than taking this whole bracket down. I found out it's really hard to get it lined up and put back in. So we're just going to have to leave it like that. And then since we're on this side, we're going to go ahead and take this pin off here at the front. Now also here, everybody asked me why is there two, they had two different mower decks that this went to, but it says 46 here and 42 here. Just make sure you get it back to where it was. This is a 46-inch mower deck, you can tell right here. It's 46 mower deck, make sure you get it back to where it was. So we have this off, we have the belt off. Let's go ahead and remove the arm in the back, which has a clip also. And as I said, we have the tools that we need are just a pair of pliers, needle nose pliers, which I'm using now. And these are butterfly clips. These guys are stubborn, but they do come out. And you use a pry bar to lift up the mower deck or a block of wood to lift up the mower deck. So these arms are pretty tight right now. So I just lift up the mower deck with a pry bar like this, and then the arm should just fall right off like that. I try to put them on top, out of the way, but sometimes they don't. So what we're going to do is take the other side off, and then we're going to raise the handle and get them out of the way. Okay, so we're going to take the left side off, like this. And this one's loose. Now I'm going to go ahead and lift up the mower deck handle to get those out of the way. And just be careful, this is spring-loaded, and it may pop up on you. So we're lifted up out of the way. Now we're going to remove it from this side. Okay, since we're on this side here, I want to show you the bar up front. If you are going to be leaving the mower deck off for a long extended period of time, take this out of your front of your machine. I've seen people jackknife these going backwards and they bend. So it's a good thing to take them off if you're not going to be driving with the mower deck on. But we have a cable back here that has to come off, and these cables are very short. There is a little loop right here that you try to get the cable out of the loop. See if I can do this without, there, the cable's out of the loop. And then we're gonna be able to pull the mower deck out a little bit, just enough that we don't want to stretch or break the cable, but I want you guys to be able to see this. All right, so we have a clip right here. And it's a little tricky, but you can get in there. Okay. And then you pull this out from, there's a little slot in there, and it comes right out like that. Now, since we have it out, we can also bring this out a little bit more. Just to show you right here, you have to go underneath your deck belt and underneath the brake rod, and it goes in. Now, it looks like it's hard to get out. Okay, so it's extremely hard to get this out just the way it is. So I have learned that you just push, it's like you're turning on the mower deck right now. You're pushing the arm back all the way, and then this should just come right out like that. And then you release it. So when you put it back in again, you're just gonna do the same thing in reverse. So then all you have to do, now this, definitely hang this up out of the way somewhere so you don't run it over. All right, if you run it over with your tire, if you're gonna keep the deck off for a long time, I would definitely zip tie it up or something. Now we can go ahead and remove this. So that's pretty much how you remove the mower deck on an LT46. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall it right now for you. And we're just gonna put it in halfway, just so we can go ahead and put that spring back on right here. And unfortunately, it's just a very short cable. So we're gonna go ahead and push the idler arm in. We're gonna go from underneath up like that. Make sure you're underneath your belt and your brake arm. And then you see this little slot here. We're gonna push the mower deck in a little bit more until this cable goes into the slot. And then you have to turn it, forget which way it goes here. You gotta turn it sideways a little bit, like that, so it locks in. Now we're real close to pinching this, and we definitely don't wanna pinch that. And we'll put the clip back in again. And these bow tie clips are really good clips, but they're a pain to use sometimes. And technically, you could probably use a different clip for back here. But it's just, I don't even think they will fall out, but I have to, there you go. Just like in like that. And we're gonna go ahead and push it under. And I'm gonna go ahead and start by putting in the front hanger first. And just make sure you have it in the right hole, which is the 46. Oops. The right hole there, it says 46 on it. Put the clip in. I'm gonna go ahead and put the mower deck handle down. Lock it in. That brings down the arms right here. Now you can see it's behind the mower deck, but just put it in the front. You gotta manipulate the deck a little bit, and it's real close. If you need to, go ahead and use your pry bar. I'm just gonna lift up a little bit, and then slide it in. Always face your clips facing backward, like that. Go around to the other side. Again, we're close to the hole, but not on it, so we're just gonna manipulate the deck a little bit. Just move it around, and it should go right in. Whoops. Just like that. Go ahead and put your pin in. Just gonna use the pliers, clip it in like that. I'm gonna come up to the front. Now remember to look at your pulleys. Make sure your belt is on every pulley the way it should be before you put the belt on. Now the belt's gotta come through the front of this bracket, like so, and then down underneath the engine pulley. Now at this point, I'll engage the mower deck so the belt will be tight. Lock it in. Then I check all the belts, where they go around the pulleys, check the belt, everything looks good. Then we can go ahead and put in your guide, your belt guide for the front engine pulley. And I'm basically trying to line up this hole with a stud. And it takes a little bit, you're pushing in on it. And then all you have to do is go on the other side and tighten it up, which I'll do right now. Okay, so we didn't have to take that bolt out all the way, we just loosened it up. Tighten it up, come down here, make sure that the belt is not rubbing against either side. And then you can go ahead and disengage your mower deck so your engine will run. And that's pretty much it. Now I would go ahead and test run it, adjust the tire pressure, bring it back in, level the mower deck. So that pretty much sums it up for how to remove and install a 46-inch mower deck on an XT1 Cub Cadet. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, tell your friends about my channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.